Hi, I'm Dr. Sara Solomon from Toronto, Ontario, and today I'm super stoked because I have a special guest all the way from Kansas City, almost vegan chef Shea Crawley, who is the author of
Practically Raw, Flexible Raw Recipes Anyone Can Make.
And guess what we're going to be making today?
We will be making pizza kale chips. And in my cookbook, I have an entire chapter of kale chips because they're my very favorite snack. And this is not only my favorite of the kale chip recipes, it's a lot of other people's favorite too.
Yeah, it's my favorite for sure. I recruited Amber because the problem I've been having lately, every time I make kale chips, they taste bitter. So she's here today because she is the kale expert. All right, let's get started. I've got my food processor here and I have all of my ingredients ready to go.
Well, you can use your food processor, or if you had a high-speed blender, you could use that. But either way, it's this easy. We're going to combine everything in the machine and blend it. But I use sunflower seeds to start with. They're a little higher in protein than other nuts and seeds.
According to the recipe here, I was supposed to soak these in water for 2 to 4 hours and then drain them, but I have no idea why I had to do that. Amber, can you explain why I had to soak these?
Sure. With sunflower seeds in particular, they're a little tough to blend, especially depending on the power of your food processor. So soaking them just kind of softens them up and makes them blend up creamier and better. Hemp seeds I put in there because they are also rich in protein and they have a lot of good anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids. And those don't need soaking because they're so small that they blend up pretty well anyway. So put those right in there with the sunflower seeds.
Did it.
Next we have nutritional yeast. And this is different from baker's yeast or brewer's yeast or anything that you use to bake bread. It's a yeast that's actually grown for its nutritional properties, and it contains a lot of B vitamins, including B6, and some people say it contains B12, depending on the brand. So it also lends a good cheesy, sort of Parmesan-like flavor.
Yeah, I noticed that. It smells very cheesy. And it's got my B vitamins. What more could you ask for? Sun-dried tomatoes. And I soaked these too, and I'm guessing it's for the exact same reason that we soaked the sunflower seeds. Now, where can everybody get this recipe?
It's on my website, chefambershea.com.
And it's also in your recipe book as well that they can get at amazon.com.
Red bell peppers, and these are just a nice watery vegetable, or technically they're a fruit, but it provides a nice little
fragrant
flavor addition, and it helps smooth out the puree that you're going to make. I hope everybody loves garlic. Delicious. Are you using garlic powder?
Yes, because I'm lazy. So it turns out that Amber and I are both Trent Reznor's #1 fans. We both absolutely love 9 Inch Nails. Did you want to show us your t-shirt?
9 Inch Nails t-shirt, and if you can see my necklace.
I have my hat too. Did it.
And then we've got fennel seed, which is kind of my secret ingredient because it makes it almost taste like a sausagey flavor. Really good.
It also kind of smells like black licorice a little bit.
It is. It's kind of anisey. And
yeah. The best part of the pizza sauce. Okay, it's still chunky, so I'll keep going. So I take the kale.
It's all torn off the stems and torn into smaller pieces.
So I got rid of the big, huge stems.
Even if you don't want to put it on chips, you can blend this up and make it pizza dip.
Pizza dip. That's an excellent idea. I would actually taste it right now, but I can't because I'm still in my fasting period right now. And I know Amber knows a thing or two about fasting because she's also been doing the intermittent fasting where she fasts for 16 hours a day and then she eats during an 8-hour window.
Okay, now you have to get your hands dirty. Plunge them right in there and massage it. Literally massage it onto the kale leaves. You want to almost squeeze and scrunch them because you want those fibers, cellulose fibers in the kale to soften up.
Oh.
And this might be part of your bitterness problem too, is that if you don't soften those fibers, the flavors of your coating can't penetrate well enough. So you might end up with just bitter, raw tasting kale. But I tell people, don't give it a Swedish massage, give it a deep tissue massage. Really dig in there and make sure all the leaves are coated, and they should reduce in size and break down a little as you massage them.
This is my Excalibur food dehydrator. I've only used it a couple of times, and of course I have no clue what I'm doing, so Amber's going to explain to me how to use my Excalibur food dehydrator. Now, I'm sure a lot of you don't actually have this fancy Excalibur dehydrator. Don't panic, we can tell you where to get one. But if you don't have one, it doesn't matter. You can still make your kale chips using the oven, and Amber explains all of that in her recipe as well. So make sure nobody's touching anybody else. Actually, that's a really good way to lose weight, is not to lick your fingers or knives or the tops of jars while you're actually cooking and baking, because those are unwanted hidden calories that go straight to your hips.
So hard to teach yourself not to do that.
Another trick I do, either I make my food while I'm fasted, because those are the rules, or the other trick is I will actually suck on like a stevia mint or chew some like xylitol gum. Ta-da!
Go ahead and put it in.
And then I'll do the same thing for the second tray.
Yep, put the lid on. About 110 to 115 degrees Fahrenheit.
Degrees Fahrenheit. How long does that have to sit?
It depends on how humid it is and all that, but at this time of year, probably maybe 5 or 6 hours. I usually just make these in the evening and then leave them there overnight, and they're ready the next day. The good thing is you can't over-dehydrate them. You can leave them in there for 24 hours and they'll be fine, because they'll just stay crispy that way.
Because we don't have 5 to 8 hours to wait to do this taste test, I made a batch in advance yesterday. So without further ado, it's time for our taste test. Step 1 would be to get the kale. Step 2. It's so good. It's like pizza. And it's not bitter. If you like our video, make sure you click the like button below in my box. And so if you want to get the recipe, or if you want to get more kale recipes, make sure you get Amber's book, which you can also click below in the link. And don't forget to subscribe.
Stay tuned for more exciting recipe videos from Sarah and Amber.